In an age when kings ruled with iron fists and absolute power, one massive European state dared to be different. Imagine a place stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea, a vibrant mosaic of peoples and religions, not ruled by a single, all-powerful monarch, but governed by its own nobility. This wasn't a fantasy. This was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, one of history's most ambitious and misunderstood political experiments. Let's travel back to 1569. For nearly 200 years, the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania had been close partners bound together by royal marriages and the need to fend off common enemies like the Teutonic Knights and a rising Muscovy. But as the ruling Jagiellonian dynasty neared its end, the nobles of both realms knew their personal connection wasn't enough. They needed something stronger, something permanent. And so, at the city of Lublin, they forged a new destiny. The Union of Lublin didn't just renew an alliance, it created a single, revolutionary state. From that moment on, Poland and Lithuania would share a single monarch, a common parliament called the Sejm, and a unified foreign policy. Yet, in a brilliant act of federalism, they kept their own separate laws, armies, and treasuries. It was a union of equals, a commonwealth in the truest sense of the word. What made this new state so radical was its political system, famously known as the nobles' democracy, or golden liberty. Think about this. While the rest of Europe was centralizing power under kings, the Commonwealth gave it to its nobility, the Szlachta. When a king died, he wasn't automatically replaced by his son. Instead, tens of thousands of nobles would gather on a field to elect a new one. Before being crowned, the chosen king had to swear an oath, accepting strict limits on his power and promising to uphold the rights of the nobility. He wasn't a ruler above the law, he was a partner bound by it. The real power lay in the Sejm, the parliament controlled by these nobles. The king couldn't raise taxes, declare war, or pass major laws without their consent. And in an age of brutal religious wars tearing Europe apart, the Commonwealth enacted the Warsaw Confederation of 1573, guaranteeing unprecedented religious freedom. It became a sanctuary for people of all faiths, a true haven of tolerance. But this system had a fatal flaw. It was a feature called the Liberum Veto, or free veto. Initially designed to protect minority rights, it allowed any single member of the Sejm to block a law and even dissolve the entire session. Imagine one person in Parliament being able to shut down the entire government. For a time, it worked, fostering compromise. But as the centuries wore on, it became a tool of destruction. Foreign powers, like a rising and ambitious Russia, learned they could simply bribe a single nobleman to paralyze the entire government, preventing any meaningful reforms. This internal paralysis proved catastrophic. While its neighbors, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, were building powerful, centralized, and modern armies, the Commonwealth was often stuck in political gridlock. It was like a giant who had been tied down from the inside. The once mighty state grew weaker and weaker, unable to defend its vast borders. The inevitable finally happened. Seeing the Commonwealth's weakness, its powerful neighbors decided to carve it up for themselves. In 3 successive stages, known as the Partitions of 1772, 1793, and finally 1795, they systematically dismembered the country. With the final partition, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was completely wiped off the map of Europe, ceasing to exist as a sovereign state for over 120 years. The story of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is a powerful one. It was a bold experiment in republicanism, federalism, and tolerance, centuries ahead of its time. It showed that a different way of governing was possible. But its ultimate demise is also a stark warning about the dangers of internal division and the inability to adapt in a changing world. It's a legacy of both incredible ambition and tragic caution, a chapter of history that shaped the identities of modern Poland, Lithuania, Belarus, and Ukraine, and one that we should never forget. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the past interesting, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history, and let me know in the comments what other historical experiments you'd like to explore. See you next time.